in the morning.
Welcome back to our channel. Today is a wonderful day to immerse ourselves in the endless and captivating events of Genoa. Sometimes, we just sit back and marvel at how these characters don't allow themselves to be happy. It's almost tragic, the way they constantly destroy their own peace. The dramatic confrontation between Billy and Kane will bring surprises to the audience. I keep thinking about the profound legacy of that company. Catherine Chancellor's ghost must be weeping at the absolute chaos currently surrounding her life's work. It is supposed to be a place of prestige, a beacon of corporate integrity, but lately, it feels like a bitter battlefield where emotional casualties are just considered collateral damage. And right at the absolute center of this war zone are Lily Winters, Kane Ashby, and the ever-relentless Billy Abbott. I find myself feeling so deeply frustrated with Billy sometimes. His obsession with Chancellor is like a sickness, a dark, suffocating cloud that just will not dissipate no matter how much time passes. He simply cannot let it go, can he? It is as if his entire self-worth is inherently tied to the walls of that corporate building, and it is driving him to make decisions that will shatter lives. When I think about Lily and Kane, my heart just aches a little, it truly does. They have survived so much heartbreak, so many devastating lies, and yet, there is this undeniable, magnetic pull between them that always, inevitably brings them back into each other's orbit. Lately, things have felt so genuinely hopeful for them. Kane just stepped up in the most massive, life-altering way possible, donating his bone marrow to save Malcolm Winter's life. That selfless, heroic act, it really seemed to wash away years of his past sins in Lily's eyes. You could visibly see the heavy, defensive walls coming down around her heart. I watched them sharing these incredibly tender, romantic moments recently, and I actually found myself rooting for them again despite my better judgment. It felt like a true, beautiful renaissance for their epic love story. Lily looked at him not as the scheming con artist who hurt her in the past, but as a hero, a reliable partner. A man who was finally, truly worthy of her immense grace and forgiveness. But in Genoa City, such profound happiness is usually just the eerie calm before a devastating storm. And I cannot help but feel a profound sense of dread knowing what dark secrets are lurking just around the corner for them. And then, there is Billy Abbott, who always seems to find himself holding a lit match near a powder keg of someone else's making. The rumors have been swirling relentlessly, and the details are just staggering to comprehend. Billy has somehow stumbled upon a piece of information so explosive, so utterly damning, that it threatens to blow Lily and Kane's fragile new world to absolute pieces. I keep wondering, how on earth did he find out? He has discovered undeniable, concrete proof of a secret, backdoor deal between Kane Ashby and Victor Newman. Just let that sink in for a moment. Victor Newman. The man who has manipulated, tortured, and ruthlessly blackmailed half the town. The revelation that Kane bypassed the ethical route and struck a secret, shadowy bargain with the devil himself to secure the CEO position at Chancellor. It is genuinely sickening. It makes my stomach turn because it proves that Kane's so-called grand redemption might just be another beautifully crafted, manipulative illusion. Billy now holds this radioactive secret in his hands, and you can practically feel the heavy burden of it weighing on his conscience. Or perhaps, it is merely feeding his vindictive, bruised ego. I try to put myself in Billy's shoes, and it is a wildly chaotic place to be. There is this intense, agonizing internal struggle tearing him apart from the inside out. On one hand, he genuinely cares for Lily. They share a profound, complicated history, and I do believe a part of his soul hates the idea of breaking her heart all over again. He knows exactly how fragile her trust is right now, how much she has risked to defend Kane, but on the other hand, his hatred for Kane Ashby is a living, breathing entity. He has always viewed Kane as a despicable fraud, an impostor who simply does not deserve Lily or the sacred Chancellor legacy. Should he expose the ugly truth and shatter Lily's world, or keep quiet and let a proven liar run his family's company? It is a moral dilemma that would break a weaker man, but for Billy, I think the temptation to play God, to be the self-appointed savior of Chancellor Industries, is just too intoxicating to resist. He convinces himself he is doing it for Lily's own good, but deep down, I feel like it is mostly about his own desperate need to win and destroy his rival. Before the devastating hammer falls, we have to look at the tragic irony of Lily and Kane's current state. Just hours before the catastrophic revelation, they are sharing these beautiful, intimate moments that just make you want to cry. I can picture them so clearly. Standing close together, they are thick with unspoken promises and renewed, passionate affection. Lily's eyes are shining with a deep trust she has not allowed herself to feel in years. She is finally, truly letting herself believe that Kane is the honorable man he claims to be. The CEO position was supposed to be a fresh start for them both, a way to build a powerful legacy together side by side. It breaks my heart into pieces to see her so vulnerable, so completely open, knowing that she is standing on a trapdoor that is about to swing wide open. Kane is holding her, probably feeling like he has finally won the lottery of life, completely oblivious to the fact that his dark, secret pact with Victor Newman is about to detonate. It is the kind of dramatic irony that makes you want to scream at the screen. Lily, run, run away before it is too late, and your heart is broken again. But Billy does not just drop the bomb out of nowhere. No, he has to twist the knife first, to savor the impending destruction. I can almost feel the suffocating, toxic tension when Billy corners Kane in private before the main event. The air between them is always so incredibly hostile, but this time, Billy has the absolute, undeniable upper hand. He looks at Kane with this sickeningly smug, victorious expression, dropping subtle, terrifying hints, playing a psychological game of cat and mouse. He implies that he knows exactly how Kane slithered his way into the CEO chair. I can see the exact moment the blood violently drains from Kane's face. The sheer panic. The sudden, horrifying realization that his pristine new image is about to be dragged through the mud for all to see. Kane immediately goes on the defensive, his voice probably shaking with that familiar, desperate indignation he uses when he is cornered, but Billy just smiles that cold, calculating habit smile. He wants Kane to sweat. He wants Kane to feel the walls closing in before the final execution. It is ruthless, and honestly, a little hard to watch, even if Kane entirely deserves it. And then, the setting shifts to the most dramatic backdrop possible. It is never just a quiet conversation in a living room in Genoa City, is it? It has to be a grand, public spectacle. Chancellor Industries is hosting a massive, elegant event. The room is filled with the city's elite, the flashing lights of the press, the clinking of expensive champagne glasses. Lily is absolutely radiant, standing proudly as the head of the company, with Kane right by her side, looking every inch the powerful, confident CEO. The atmosphere is supposed to be celebratory, a glorious coronation of their new era of leadership. But I cannot help but feel this overwhelming, suffocating sense of dread as I imagine the scene unfolding. The sheer elegance of the room is just a stark, cruel contrast to the ugly, brutal truth that is about to be unleashed upon them. Everyone is smiling, completely unaware that they are about to witness a public execution of a man's career and the complete devastation of a woman's heart. Billy Abbott chooses his moment with devastating, surgical precision. He does not just pull Lily aside privately to spare her feelings, he commands the attention of the entire room. When he speaks, the silence that follows is deafening, heavy with impending doom. He publicly, loudly, and unapologetically exposes Kane's dark, shameful secret. He reveals the undeniable proof that Kane Ashby did not earn the CEO position through merit, hard work, or Lily's genuine trust. He bought it through a secret, manipulative deal with Victor Newman. The words hang in there like a toxic, suffocating cloud. You can hear the collective gasp of the crowd. To make a secret deal with Victor Newman to secure power at Chancellor. It is the ultimate, unforgivable betrayal of everything Lily has been fighting for. Billy lays it all out, every sordid detail of how Kane bypassed the board, bypassed Lily's genuine faith in him, and aligned himself with the very man who has been actively trying to destroy their family. It is a masterclass in public humiliation, and Billy delivers it with a terrifying mix of righteous anger and vindictive satisfaction. My heart completely shatters when I think of Lily in that exact, horrifying moment, the camera capturing her face, the sheer, unadulterated devastation radiating from her eyes. It is not just public embarrassment, it is a profound, soul-crushing betrayal that cuts to the very core of her being. She had fiercely defended Kane. She had stood up to Billy, to her brother Devon, to everyone who warned her that Kane was still a manipulative con artist. She put her own hard-earned reputation, her own fragile heart, on the line to give him this position of supreme power. And to find out that while she was defending his honor to the world, he was making sleazy backroom deals with Victor Newman, it is a knife straight to the chest, twisted without mercy. I can feel her world spinning violently out of control. The beautiful glass castle she had so carefully rebuilt with Kane shatters into a million irreparable pieces right there on the ballroom floor. The humiliation of having this exposed in front of her peers, her employees, the press, it is simply too much to bear. You can see the light completely leave her eyes as the sickening reality of his deception sets in. And Kane, oh Kane, the desperation radiating from him is pathetic and heartbreaking all at once. He scrambles, his voice cracking as he tries to explain the unexplainable to the woman he just destroyed. He reaches out to Lily, begging her to listen, trying frantically to spin this massive betrayal into some sort of misguided, heroic attempt to protect her or the company. But how do you ever justify making a deal with Victor Newman? You cannot. Every word that falls from his mouth just makes him look smaller, more guilty, exactly like the sleazy fraud Billy has always claimed he is. I watch him panic, and part of me pities him because I do believe he loves Lily in his own flawed way, but his blind ambition and his inherent need to cut corners always ruin him. He thought he could outsmart Victor and Billy, but instead, he has orchestrated his own spectacular, fiery downfall. His apologies echo hollowly in the massive room, completely ineffective against the sheer, overwhelming magnitude of his lie. The immediate professional fallout is absolutely catastrophic. Kane's newly minted position as CEO of Chancellor Industries is instantly thrown into severe, perhaps fatal jeopardy. The board members in attendance are undoubtedly whispering furiously, their confidence in both Kane and Lily completely obliterated in a matter of seconds. How can a man who secretly colludes with a rival corporate warlord be trusted to run a legacy company? The public relations nightmare is staggering to contemplate. I find myself stressing over the logistics of it all, the plummeting stock prices, the emergency board meetings that will inevitably follow this disaster. Billy's revelation has not just ruined a romantic relationship, it has destabilized an entire corporate empire. Kane's authority is stripped away in the blink of an eye, replaced by scandal, outrage, and deep suspicion. He is facing the very real, immediate threat of being unceremoniously ousted from the corner office he fought so dirty to obtain. But the professional damage, as massive as it is, pales in comparison to the personal tragedy unfolding. Lily physically recoils from Kane. That visual, her stepping back, pulling her hand away from his as if he burned her, it speaks volumes about the death of their relationship. She retreats into herself, the emotional walls slamming back down, thicker and more impenetrable than they have ever been in her life. She leaves Kane standing there, drowning alone in the severe consequences of his own actions. The heartbreak is so palpable it physically aches to witness. She had finally, after so much pain, allowed herself to believe in a beautiful future, only to have it violently ripped away by the very man who promised to protect it. Lily walks away from the wreckage, her dignity intact but her spirit completely crushed. She has to face the agonizing reality that her faith was entirely misplaced, and that the man she loved is still, at his core, driven by dark secrets and selfish deception. This betrayal does not just exist in a vacuum. The ripple effects are going to be massive across Genoa City. I cannot help but think about Devon Winters. He already had his deep doubts about Kane, and this is going to ignite his protective fury like never before. The Winters family is already dealing with so much trauma. And now this. It is too much for one family to bear. And what about Jill Abbott? We know she is returning, and she already despises the fact that Lily gave Chancellor to Kane in the first place. When Jill finds out that Kane actually conspired with Victor Newman, the man who stole the company from her, her wrath is going to be biblical. Jill loves Kane like a son, but this level of corporate treason, it might be the final nail in the coffin for their relationship. The entire landscape of Genoa City is shifting rapidly, and the fault lines are running straight through the Chancellor Winters legacy. As I sit here trying to process all of this chaos, my mind keeps circling back to Billy Abbott. He dropped the bomb. He ruined his rival. He saved the company from a fraud. But at what cost? Is he really the hero of this story, or just another villain? I feel a deep sense of sadness when I look at Billy. He claims he did this to protect Lily and Chancellor, but the sheer cruelty of exposing it in such a public, humiliating way reveals his true, vindictive nature. It was about vengeance. It was about proving he was right and Kane was wrong, no matter who got hurt. He destroyed Lily's happiness to feed his own ego, and I wonder if he will feel any real remorse when he looks at the shattered pieces of her life. Probably not. Billy is too consumed by his own righteous indignation to see the collateral damage he leaves in his wake. Ultimately, this entire debacle is a stark, painful reminder that in Genoa City, secrets never, ever stay buried. They fester, they grow, and eventually, they explode, taking down everyone in their path. Kane Ashby played a dangerous game of corporate roulette with Victor Newman, and he lost everything. His job, his reputation, and the woman he loves. Lily is left to pick up the pieces of her shattered trust, forced to lead Chancellor Industries through a storm she never asked for. And Billy. Well, Billy gets to stand in the ashes of his rival's life and call it a victory. It is a tragic, messy, beautifully complicated disaster, and as much as it hurts to watch these characters tear each other apart, I know I will not be able to look away for a single second. The drama is just too compelling, too raw, and too utterly human.